I'm going to do everything in my power to get her the perfect family.
Welcome to Roads to Home, a podcast about real children in the Indiana foster care system and the people who step up to help them when they need someone the most. I'm Noelle Russell. This story is about a girl named Emma, whose journey with the Department of Child Services started when she was in elementary school. Today, Emma is a thriving teenager, and her story is one her caseworker looks back on with pride.
I sum this up as a fairy tale ending. That's how I sum it up, because that's what it is for this kid.
Reunification wasn't an option for Emma, which left DCS with a new challenge: finding a family for this girl, a teenager with no parents and nowhere to go.
Her entire life, all she's ever wanted is a loving home. Just somebody that's gonna love her and treat her the way that she deserves.
Emma's story and photo would go online for adoptive families to see. They would learn all about the bubbly girl with curly brown hair who just wanted a family of her own. But her caseworker was honest with Emma about one challenge: her age.
Everybody wants babies. Everybody wants babies.
As the caseworker began preparing the necessary paperwork, she received an unexpected call. Emma's mother had died years ago, and she'd never known her father. But the person on the other end of the line thought he might.
I don't know why, out of the blue, he decides to think about this, but he says, I think I might know a possibility for who could be her dad.
DCS ran the man's information through multiple databases. Eventually, those efforts kicked back a possible phone number. The caseworker sent a generic text message, and 45 minutes later, received a call back.
I said, well, I just want you to know up front that the information that I have, I don't know if anything is true or not. And I don't even know how to begin this conversation, so let's just start with this. Do you recall ever knowing...
She told him Emma's mother's name.
He said, no, that name doesn't sound familiar to me. And my heart just dropped at that point, because I'm like, great, it's not her dad.
But then...
He says, about 2 years ago, I was in a car accident and I lost all of my long-term memory.
The man went on to say he had 3 children. He could remember their birthdays, but very little of their childhoods. By now, the caseworker had put the call on speakerphone, with her coworkers listening excitedly. One pulled up the man's Facebook page.
And she pulls a picture up of what we're guessing is his daughter. She is identical to my kiddo. And I'm thinking, there is no way that this is not her dad.
And then she dropped the bombshell. There's a little girl in DCS care, she told him, and we believe she might be your daughter.
I said, what are you thinking? How are you feeling? And he said, I feel like I just hit the lottery.
Relief swept over the room. He agreed to a DNA test, just to be sure. Finally, the results came, and there was no question. The man they'd found so unexpectedly, who was so ready to welcome Emma into his home. This man was Emma's father.
And the entire office just blew up in excitement. Everybody was just so excited.
They started trial home visits right away, and just before Christmas that year, they went to court to make it official. The judge granted the petition to change Emma's last name.
He said, if this is my daughter, she belongs with me.
At that point, it was time for DCS to close the case. But Emma wasn't ready to say goodbye to her caseworker, to this woman who'd done so much to help her find a family.
Her dad told her that, you don't have to worry about that because she will be at your birthday parties. She will be at your graduation. She's a part of our family now. From the moment he said, I feel like I hit the lottery, it couldn't have gone better in a fiction storybook.
The road to home looks different for every child touched by the foster care system. Some are able to be reunited with their biological families, while others are adopted by foster parents who love them like they're their own. The road is different, but the destination is the same. For every child, a family, and a place to call home.